Well, despite the fact that it's super windy out here, it feels great. That sun is shining and it's beautiful. Shelter's still standing. I forgot that it was going to be nice today, but looks like everything is okay so far. So the structure's still standing. That's a good thing, huh? Also, the greenhouse is still standing. Looks great. So it's definitely moving, but it's not going anywhere. So that's the most important thing. It's swaying. It is swaying. It wants to go. These are some pretty fierce winds. But I'm gonna get inside here and feed these rabbits. I can definitely feel the difference inside here. Temperature wise. And it feels great that I'm not in the wind. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Duncan. Hey, boy. Good morning, Penelope. Hey, girl. Hey. Good morning. Good morning, baby girl. Duncan. looks like it's holding up, so I am very pleased. Very pleased. I would like to get some more pallets to make a wall here. So that is probably going to be my next goal for this shelter, to get some more pallets to make a wall. Hey everyone, so good news, the rabbit structure is still standing and everything looks to be intact. It wasn't very cold out last night, so I left the rabbit hutch open. I believe they enjoyed it. It was 50 degrees last night, 45, something like that, so I think it was perfectly fine for them. So we're gonna get them fed and watered. But I did go out and get to the Dollar Tree and I found these braided ropes. They're 40 feet of braided rope for $1. And when I saw these, I was like, you know, those could come in handy for tying stuff down. So I grabbed a few of those while I was there. Hey girl. Hey. How are you today? Hey Duncan. Hey boy. He's such a handsome buck. Yes he is. Alright. I always gotta, you know, love them up in the morning when I see them, so they get used to me. And you know, when they first came, they were really skittish. They were really young. Especially Penelope, she really did not like any kind of contact. Duncan was the other way around. He was a little more, he was a little older than Penelope, and he didn't mind a lot of interaction. But it has gotten, sorry Penelope, I didn't mean to startle you, baby. The roles have switched. So now I can grab Penelope and I can hold her, and she will she'll be fine. You know, she'll sit there while I cuddle her or whatever. But Duncan, on the other hand, he likes to kick and... Zeke, don't knock my camera down. I see you over there messing around. Stay out of them bushes. Duncan likes to kick. So, when I come out in the morning, I just kind of like to, you know, pet them, rub them, talk to them, you know, get them used to my voice, get them used to my touch, because when Penelope has her kids, I want her to be comfortable with me handling them. So, and besides that, I just want them to be comfortable with me. So we had some really high winds again yesterday, and let me tell you, I made the biggest mistake. It was 63, I think, yesterday. It was really warm, but it was so windy. And I went in the greenhouse and I was getting something out, or I was doing something, but maybe I was just checking the temperature. I was in the greenhouse and it was 80 degrees. And I knew that I needed to ventilate it. But I also knew that it was super windy outside. But I didn't have a choice. So I needed to let some of that air out. I mean, some of that heat out. So, kind of water my mint over there. So I opened it. I opened the greenhouse. Why did I do that? But the thing is, I opened it and then I kind of left it open for a little while. It looked like it was doing fine, and I didn't open it all the way. But I should not have took my eyes off of it, because then you see that black shade cloth I have across the front. The whole green part of the greenhouse, the green cover, was coming off. The clear was intact and it stayed on. That's the under layer. Sorry, I'm filling this picture up for the rabbit. So the clear layer was intact, but the green cover was coming off. It was blowing off, towards the back end. And because it was blowing off and it was pulling to the back, the front of the greenhouse was coming up. The frame was coming up. The stakes that I have, the staples, whatever you call them, the 12-inch stakes that I have in the securing it all the way around, those were coming out of the ground, and I caught it just in time. My daughter told me, "Mom, your greenhouse is gonna blow away." I was like, "Oh no," and I had to run out and quickly secure it. So I grabbed some more cinder blocks that I have and went ahead and secured it. But I almost lost it. I almost lost the greenhouse, and I would have been so sad if I would have lost that. I don't know why I made that mistake, especially after the mishap with the rabbit shelter. I should have known better, but are you saying hi, Penelope? Are you saying hi, baby girl? So needless to say, I thought about it. I thought about my mistake. Hey, Duncan. Just some clean water for you, boy. Just some clean water. Penelope, are you turning my camera around? Thank you. Thank you, baby girl. Thank you. Anyhow, I nearly lost my greenhouse because of that mistake. So after the fact, it was already windy. It was already blowing out of control. Rabbit shelter stayed in place. I was thankful for that. I hurried up, got some cinder blocks, readjusted the cover, and the front still had like a really big opening at the bottom where the wind was still like getting up in there and like trying to take it up. So I had to do something to block some of that air, and this was the biggest thing I could find to stretch over the front of this. So that's what I did, and it worked as a windbreaker so that you know, the wind wouldn't be able to get up in there and be so forceful. But I did go ahead and put the cinder block here, tied it. I'm just afraid that these little loops, these loops here, they're not going to be very good. So even if it's tied to the cinder block, that loop can break off, and then it'll be won't be tied to anything. Like right now, it's warm out here, but it's not windy, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the greenhouse. Look at that blue jay. I don't know if you guys can see him. He's really big. It's 90 degrees in there. So later I gotta come back out and tuck in all of this green again. And I didn't want to put holes in it. I didn't want to have to stake it down. But I might just have to do that. I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm thinking, but I really did not want to have to put stakes into the plastic and make holes in the plastic. But I might not have an option. So you can see there where the stakes were trying to come out of the ground. These were all the way down on the bar, and you see they came up about 2 inches or so. All of these had come up, and I almost lost it. So everything inside looks to be fine. Everything, you know, looks to be okay in here. So it's just pretty hot in here is what it is. It's 90. So I gotta leave this open. Thankfully, it's not very windy out. So I'm glad I was able to get out here and open that up and get some ventilation going. But later today, I have to work on securing it some more, and that's probably what I'll end up using that 40-foot rope for. Yeah, probably, because if I remember correctly, from one side from one side of the greenhouse all the way over to the other side was 19 feet, and I went ahead and did 20 just to be on the safe side. So 20 feet from one side of the greenhouse all the way over to the other, and each one of those cords is 40 feet. Ropes, whatever you want to call them. So I might think about doing something like that to secure it, throwing those over the top to hold it down a little bit extra. I don't know yet. I'm gonna think on it and see what I come up with. Otherwise, I think everything's doing fine. I'm gonna go ahead and take those tops off of there. I'm gonna leave this on here. This is fine. It gets plenty of ventilation. It gets plenty of light. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that on there. You waiting to go in the garden, Zeke? I did transplant a bunch of stuff in there, and I'm glad I did. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like button for me, subscribe, and comment below if there's any suggestions or comments or questions that you might have. And until next time, the more you know, the more you grow. Bye guys.